Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Rise of Nyarlathotep, where we raise points to bring a cultist back. Apparently, we hit that goal before we could even come live for everyone, so congratulations. I don't even have to explain a whole lot about the chip challenge. But let's start off with a round of introductions before we hop into everything. I am Lucas. My pronouns are he, him, and we'll hop on over to Ian. Oh, Ian, are you
Hi,
muted?
my name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm playing Weary, who is a tiefling alchemist, artificer. Not technically alchemist yet, but working on that thesis. Uh, but just here to have a good time and definitely not panic.
Today we do not have Meg, but don't worry, they will be back and they will probably eat a few rocks, meet a few cultists. Don't you worry. Let's hop on over to Jess.
Hi there, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Glyph, you can see from the art, the mysterious automaton rogue who uses they, them pronouns.
Eve.
Hello, I'm Eve, and I will be playing PK37, the Goblin Enhanced, and both our pronouns are she, her.
And Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason, and I'm playing Kratok, the simply superb Plumerian Bard. Both of our pronouns are he, him.
All right, so a few changes. As you can see, we have a new overlay set up, and I put that character art on there. So that looks nice and fancy. We have 102% on this chip community challenge. So I'll explain that a little bit. I mean, it's a little self-explanatory. We're bringing Chip back. When that will be, it might be this episode, might be next. I'll bring it back when it feels real good. But basically, we're going to start trying to do these community challenges where I now realize I have to make them higher than 8,000 because we can complete them super fast. But this is a fun way to get the community to toss those Dwarven dollars that Michelle had given the new name for our channel points. And so it's just a fun way to add something into the show and have people chat it up. But last time on Dungeons and Dragons, our heroes had some fun. You did a little bit of shopping. You met someone at the and got some great alchemical supplies and got real worried. And you learned the true beauty and wonder of spider horses. You learned about the majestic arachnid steeds that are these lovely creatures. And you then saw that Chip was going out of the town. And two of you had actually seen Chip talk to someone, hear about the word Ascension, get a little bit of a blessing, and they didn't feel good. Their tummy had a bit of the rumblies. So you ensured that Chip didn't get to come along for the ride and got taken away. And just as you were leaving Port Divinarium, you made it through the checkpoint with your spider horses, and you overheard somebody, this ghoulish person, this woman. Her face was really gaunt. Her skin was gray. Her eyes were a bit sunken. She had no hair. Her hands, like, they ended in like sharp fingernails. Nothing like crazy, but it's just like, clearly you gotta cut those. But they were wearing these very immaculate robes, and they came out yelling about, "Where's Chip? If they're not here, then I swear, like, we're gonna punish whoever did this." And you overheard them yelling about hiring some guards for the caravan. And just a quick note, because I forgot two little things. Music, of course, is by Sirenscape, so head on over to sirenscape.com if you like them lovely sound effects. Also, our characters are level 2. So they have some fun new things. Do we want to quickly go around the table and just say what you have for your characters? We'll start with Weary.
Sure. So Weary is now a level 2 artificer, which means among getting a couple like more spells to play with, Weary is now able to access the infusions feature in the class. So in previous sessions, we did buy a small gem to use to fashion into a homunculus. So Weary now has one of those. It looks like a metal catfish that sort of floats in the air around Weary, and it makes like fun little like bubble noises, and it's just a good friend. And there's a couple other like infusions that Weary has access to, but the main one is the fish friend, and of course some new spells. So I'm very excited to get to use those.
And we'll just do the same order. We can go over to Glyph.
At a resounding level 2, Glyph gained cunning action, just meaning I can dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. And I also got like 9 hit points, so that was pretty great. And that's about it.
TK.
Yes, that would be me. At level 2, I got accelerated evolution, and for that, I took the enhanced durability, which gives me a +2 to my AC, taking me up to a whopping 16.
Hey, you can take a few hits.
On top of that, on top of that, my HP is up to 23, which ain't too bad for a level 2.
And Kratok.
That's it.
And at level 2, I have gained the Jack of all trades. It's a very common bardic thing. I gain half my proficiency bonus to anything that I'm not already proficient in. And I've also gained the Song of Rest. I can hum a soothing lullaby and everyone will get an extra 1d6 hit points if I spend a hit die while we're taking a short rest. So, yeah, sleepy times abound.
Nice. So all of you are outside of the city gates and the city walls to Port Divinarium, just to paint you a little bit of a word picture, are quite high up. They made them this way because everybody likes to try to get over the city wall. Port Divinarium has to basically be a fortress because everyone keeps trying to sneak out or sneak in really dangerous magical items because they think it worked in testing when I followed the happy path. I'm sure it'll work when I give it to a consumer. And they just won't listen, so they had to really beef up security. So as you're stepping out of this area, the area outside of Port Divinarium is kind of not a shanty town, because it doesn't look like a really disheveled, but it's definitely been propped up in the recent years. You see there's a lot of taverns and inns that are set up for people who are having to come into this area that's known as the funnel, whereas people who they basically have to wait to bring in supplies. So there's 2 nice lanes. You have one lane of people coming in, and the other lane, you see that it's some people leaving with supplies. You see there are caravans off to the side. The one caravan that you were interested in, you see there is some gray large wagons. And you see like they have the 5 shades of gray on them, and it's mixed with a number of other wagons. It looks like they're going to have quite a few in this caravan. And you can hear them yelling. You hear this one woman as she's yelling at her subordinates. Bring me some guards. We need people to look after these wagons. We're not having what happened last time. What would you all like to do?
I kind of whisper over to the rest of the party. Hey, this might be our chance. Do you want to be guards?
We do need to join the caravan.
PK just like looks down at her very clearly like security guard armor. I think that might be kind of my thing.
Well, in that case, don't let us. I mean, if you want to speak for us, they're clearly looking to hire some help, and we are definitely trustworthy looking.
All right, TK, come with me.
Talking. Yeah, sure.
You look the most like a guard out of all of us. And Kurtok just runs forth towards the caravan and says, "Hello!"
Yeah. Huh? Oh, you. Go deal with them. And you see Teresa come up, who Alora had previously spoken to. And you see, like, her eyes are wide. It's this elf of Terra. Her brown skin has a few, like, marks that almost make it easy to camouflage in. Large, like, kind of jagged ears. And she comes over to you, Kratok. Yes, hi. Oh, whoops. Yeah, hi. Can I help you?
I couldn't help but overhear that you were looking for some guards. I think that might be us. And he kind of looks around to the other party members.
Oh, are you Adventurers Guild?
Yes.
And you would have each been given like a little necklace or something to like symbolize it. It has this little copper plate to it, and that it has
Okay.
the Adventuring Guild insignia on it.
So Kratok kind of pulls that out from his jacket.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, yeah, if you're Adventurers Guild, well, we're looking to hire guards. We're going as far down as Lucio, and we should be able to make it there maybe in a week and a half. We're paying 5 gold a day per person, and of course that includes meals.
I just turn to everyone else. 5 gold a day, meals paid for. Sound like a good deal? Kratok knows nothing about money.
That's actually exactly what I was going to suggest we negotiate for.
Wow, this is so convenient for everyone involved.
I
That's
do
perfect.
enjoy meals.
Ah, yes. Okay, fantastic. All right, well, we're probably going to grab a few more adventures that are coming out of the gates, but there's a number of wagons here. There's a few emptier ones over there and over there. She points to like a few of these larger wagons. They are not the gray ones. They look more like regular ones. So you should be able to bunk up there and leave any kind of bags if you have. I see you have spider horses, so that's going to make it easier for you to come along.
All right, sounds like a great deal. And Kratok extends a wing and shakes the hand.
Yeah, she shakes your hand, and she's like, I just need to get some names really quick. Just mark it down, finances.
Worry?
Worry. Okay.
Yes, Worry.
Okay.
It's a family name.
Oh, that's nice. And
Yeah.
you, the person with a large hat and many clothes.
Glyph's kind of just standing, and they're in their scarf and their sunglasses and their hat, and they just kind of wait a beat, and the only thing that goes through their mind is variable. And then they just stop and they go, Abel.
Abel. Okay. A lot of straightforward names here. And you, miss.
That would be Brisket Anonymous.
Brisket and not. It's just. I mean, it's a low bar. Let's see if her insight will give her anything. As my die falls on the floor. Brisket Anonymous. You know what? Whatever. It's just taxes. Who cares about taxes, right? Okay, and you, sir.
My name's Kratok, and I'm well established in the taxation system.
Kratok. Okay. Wow, that seems like the only... Okay, I'm not going to press this. There's a reason for this. Adventurers get into a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to press it. Nope. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, just travel on. We should be taking off in probably about 15 minutes. We're waiting for a member of our group. He's just not here yet, though. I don't know what's going on. I thought he was behind me. Have you seen a very... I guess they're a little entitled. They talk a lot about fantasy softball. They really just care about themselves. They're known as Chip. It's a human man. They wear these robes that I'm wearing.
Nope.
I don't think I've heard of a Chip. Is he from the block?
He's not from Port Divinarium. No. I don't know where he's definitely not off the old block either.
Oh.
That's unfortunate.
Well, okay.
I don't know anything about blocks. I'm sorry.
I guess I'll tell my boss. Just having a hard time finding Chip. Okay, thank you. And you see she wanders off to go talk to that woman who was yelling earlier. You can see she's explaining something. And this woman just throws her hands up like, ah! and just like marches towards the wagon that she was in. What would you all like to do? It seems there's a lot of people that are like just finishing up the last of packing into these wagons. They're getting their spider horses all strapped up to the wagons.
Glyph's spider horse is still like trying to chew on their face and hat, and Glyph's just kind of letting. It's like, perhaps we should get established in one of the wagons.
I think. Hi, Layla. I think PK is going to do a lap around the wagons just to get a look at everyone's faces. See if anyone stands out as suspect beyond, the obvious cult.
Sure. So you do this lap. You're just kind of going around looking at the wagons. You see there's probably about 12 wagons. It looks like 7 of them belong to this cult, and it looks like the other 5 belong to just whoever's traveling along. You see that there are a number of luminous here. You see you see one dwarven woman. She has the crystal sticking off her, symbolizing that obviously this is a dwarf from the crystal halls. You see one luminous in very over-the-top wizardly garb. Like, I'm talking about like the pointy hat, the stars on their garb, just the whole 9 yards of I am a wizard and you will respect it.
Classic.
You see there's a lot of humans that are here. The cult itself is very diverse. You see like there's a rock troll that's wandering around in just these massive gray robes. You see there's a couple dragonborn. You see there's actually one person that you've never seen before. There is this little they look like a little humanoid walrus, maybe 3 feet tall. And they have a lot of like little tools and gadgets sticking off of their parka that they're wearing, and they have the hood pulled back. They have this purplish grayish skin, these large eyes, these whiskers sticking off their face, and this bristly beard. And they're just kind of wandering back and forth, like looking really worldly at a spider horse. And you see there's a number of other like halflings, a couple orcs that are getting things ready.
Okay. Not like none of that stands out too much. The walrus guy's a little bit weird, but I've seen weirder, so mostly just looking for things that look like they might be out of the deep,
Roll me a perception.
just in case. Okay. I can do that. I'm competent.
You got a 10?
Just done. I got a 20. A nat 20.
Well then. So you are looking around and you spot something that catches your eye. Like it's just, you see there's this box that one of these cultists picks up. So this woman, she picks up this box, like heaving it up into there, and you hear the jingle of bottles. And you see one of them slips out and it falls. It clinks off the side of the wagon and then falls into the grass. And just for a second, you're looking at this and you get really dizzy. You start seeing flashes, there's bright lights, and you can hear, and now for the injection. And you just like kind of come back and you're feeling a little lightheaded.
I was muted. Did the person who dropped it notice?
They did not, no.
PK is going to collect herself and take a quick look around, make sure nobody's looking, and run over and just grab it and drop it into a pouch real quick.
Make me a sleight of hand.
That is not as good. That is a 6.
You slide in, you quickly grab it, you stumble a little bit, and you just shove it in your pouch as you...
To be fair, that is an 11 total.
Okay, that's all right. So you're going in. You don't
sleight of
stumble.
hand was.
You don't stumble, and you grab it though, and you quickly put it into your pouch. And you see just out of the corner of your eyes that dwarven woman who has the crystal sticking off of her. She looks over at you and just kind of like you can tell that she was watching while you were doing that. She's not wearing these gray robes either.
TK just like gives her the eye and says, "Finders keepers."
She nods at you slowly, just staring at you, not saying anything.
It points at her eyes and points at her.
You see, she narrows her eyes at you while you're doing this, and just nods. The rest of you, you're getting situated. You're kind of like falling in rank as the wagons are slowly starting to pull out to be in more of a ready state to take off. And you see like there's a lot of people that are bumbling around here, and you just hear, oh dear, oh no, as they're just wandering back and forth. And it's just this little walrus person there. They're like trying to go and reach up to the spider horse, and every time they try, this spider horse just like snaps at them.
Oh, Glyph like immediately. First of all, do I know what this person is? Have I seen a person like this before?
Roll me a history.
Whoa. Okay. That was a 19 plus nothing, so a 19.
Hey, you know this is a walrus. So that's like walrus, but you put a K after the L. So
Wow.
these people, they live up far into the north, and every so often they do something. It's like a tradition of theirs. You're not quite sure what it's called. You just know that they put these amulets on that let them deal with being in a conditional, like an environment that's not super cold. So they go and they travel the world, and in their beliefs, they're gathering souls and bringing them home. And it's just some strange spiritual belief. But you know that it's just kind of like a rite of passage. When they hit a certain age, they'll go and gather things, and they'll come back home. And so you know these are denizens of the far north.
Okay, so I've probably seen some in where I'm from.
Yeah.
But yeah, just that this person's like, I needs help. Glyph is like, and just walks over there, and is like, friend, are you in need of assistance?
Yes. The spider horse hates me.
It hates you. And Glyph kind of steps to the spider horse, and yeah, if y'all just heard really loud thunder, that was where I am, so that's exciting. And it's just kind of like, ooh, yeah, just gonna try to like pet its nose, because like Muffin was chill, so I'm gonna see if I can calm down this spider horse.
Roll an animal handling.
I got a 15.
This spider horse is fine. Yeah, it does not like this walrus person. Every so often, like anytime the walrus person tries to come close, it snaps them.
It just hates me. I don't know what to do.
And Glyph thinks back, because they've seen spider horses and they've seen like people in carriages, and they're like, what did people in carriages do? And they would give them snacks. So Glyph's like, have you tried giving it a snack?
No. Do you have a snack? Oh wait, I have something.
Glyph has a... Okay, good.
You see the walrus runs back to the back of the wagon, and it comes back with this very bloody wrapped parcel, and just sets it down on the ground and steps away, this piece of raw meat, as the spider horse opens up its mouth, just like, it opens three-pronged, and this webbing just shoots out to the meat parcel, and it just like inhales and drags the webbing back, and you could just hear it chomping on this meat that's inside the wax paper.
Well, it seems in a better mood. I'm horse
I
person,
was
by the
thinking a
way.
sugar cube. I'm sorry?
I'm horse person.
Hello, horse person. My name is Abel.
It's nice to meet you. All right, I gotta get this wagon going. Thank you, Abel.
And you know, the Walrus are generally
worries.
named after
Person.
what they're good at. It's like you'll have shipbuilder, you'll
Oh.
have blacksmith, and so apparently this person was supposed to be good with horses.
That's
So you
interesting.
you hear the wagons are starting up now, and TK, you come back with the party as everything starts moving along. You see a few other rando adventurers have been hired on. You see that you're pretty sure one of a group of them were the really sad halflings that lost one of their teammates and then had Weary throw all the all the oil on them, and they still just look rather despondent as they're traveling along, and so this caravan starts moving. Let's get this wagon journey rolling. So as you're going along through the grand plains of the Arcanium, you see that there is quite a few farms that are set up around this area. And I'm going to call on Eve. Eve, tell me something weird about the cows of this area. What's something that sets them apart that makes them very strange?
The is something. You're gonna hate this. They stand up on two legs.
Yes, they do. So every so often you see like a cow will be grazing and the cow will just get up and start like walking over to a tree to try to, you know, chomp on some delicious apples that are hanging back. Like, so you see all these cows that every so often they just get up on their two legs and these two hooves and are just marching along. And I don't believe any of you have really seen Arcanium cows, so this is throwing you off pretty hard. It's a rare breed.
Oh,
So
it's like they're not like just walking; they're strutting.
just like long, powerful strides from these cows.
Mm-hmm. The
So you're-
shoulders back.
So you're going through these farm areas, and the wagons are moving pretty good. It's going at a pretty good speed. And if we just look over here at the lovely map we have in between all of our faces, we have this top area is Port Divinarium. So that is where our adventure had started or taken place. We have just to the south is the capital of Evocatia. So that's the capital of the Arcanium. We have Transmudia over here. We have Enchantment. We have the Conj, the surfer wizard city. We have Elusio. And over here is Greenest, and there's the Warped Woods, which is the border between the Arcanium and the Enclave of Terra, where a lot of these elves of Terra come from. You also know on one of the maps you were given, there's something known as the Testing Grounds. You were just told not to go there. They said it should be obvious, but that's just all they said. So you're traveling along, and you see that it looks like the wagon's actually taking the side road. So it looks like you're going to be actually going through Transmudia as you're going to be going along your journey. So they're probably going to go through Transmudia, through Enchantment to Elusio. As you're going along, everyone make me perception checks.
That's a good old 6.
Nice.
So,
That's
oh, go ahead.
that's a 9.
That's a 12 for me.
I am incredibly perceptive today. I rolled a 19, bringing me to a 22.
All right, so TK, 37, you hear this as the rest of your party's just, getting a feel for the Arcanium, but you're on high alert. You can hear a few of these cultists talking to each other, and it's in very hushed tones, but you're kind of just like going by on your spider horse as its many hooved legs are clicking along this road, and you can hear them go, yeah, so the Ascension's tonight. Apparently Chip bailed. Chip got the Ascension. I don't know what happened, but Chip's not showing up, so I don't even know who's next in line. You hear the other person lean over and say, I heard it's Teresa. I feel kind of bad because Teresa just joined not too long ago, but, them's the rules. Oh, don't you have to do like a juice cleanse for this? I'm honestly not sure. And you just hear them kind of chatting about an Ascension tonight.
TK is going to ease up on Princess a bit and shift back to the rest of the group. Say, hey, looks like Chip is confirmed out. They're looking to do another dwarvening.
So, that's not good.
Do we know who the next person is?
It's a lady named Teresa.
Oh.
And there was also something about a juice cleanse that I'm not sure what that is.
Oh, that's when you consume a lot of a juice and then not eat anything else. And then I believe there's supposed to be results, but I can't for the life of me figure out what those results are supposed to be.
Hunger.
Okay. Well,
I can't recall. Did Alora mention Teresa, like the name, or not?
Yes.
Oh, so I must be like, oh, well, we know who Teresa is.
Oh. The one that Alora talked to. Oh, that's not good.
Isn't that the one that we talked to?
Just
Yeah,
Alora.
Yeah.
Oh
no,
yeah. For being hired, yes, that was Teresa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Teresa hired us and is going to be Dorvand.
And Alora's in NPC mode right now.
Yeah, you can't find Alora right now. Alora, they just kind of faded into the crowd. They're chatting it up with everybody,
Everybody.
Very
Oh, no.
social. Very social.
How do they do that?
Wow,
Glyph's kind of shocked. They ran into some high school friends.
Speaking to people's terrifying.
So
It is.
People all the time. People love me.
I believe you, I think. We should definitely keep an eye on Teresa then, so that, maybe we can avoid any monster issues for at least an evening. Maybe? I don't quite know.
Did anyone explain, I know we saw the cleanser put the anti-magic manacles on Chip, but Glyph doesn't know anything about magic, so, didn't get anything from that? Did anyone, later was like, oh...
TK understood it, but...
You all did. I didn't.
Explain it.
I think Weary would have some knowledge, I think, from just doing general research from the stuff that they used to do. So yeah, they can explain that anti-magic might turn off the transformation, but I don't really know if it'll reverse it, just stop it while the manacles are on.
Is that something you could build?
Oh no, that is well beyond my reach.
Well, I guess we will keep an eye on her. Also, this whole time, the reason Glyph did so bad on the perception is sometimes the horse doesn't feel like there's a person riding them. It's just like they have equipment on them. So sometimes the horse just kind of sees a nice patch of grass and tries to wander, and Glyph's like, no.
You have to pull it back.
Yeah.
And a lot of these cows, they stride by you. They just like lick you up and down, like whatever. As like they're going these like 7 foot tall Arcanium bovines, as their shoulders back, udders out. They're just living life.
I and this is going to sound very self-deprecating. It feels like the cows are cooler than me, and I don't like that.
You
Cows
see
are
as
not
one of the
cooler than you.
cows like nods. They're going by like, yeah.
Oh, Weary takes emotional
Leaning
damage
on
from that one.
trees with their arms crossed.
They
Yeah.
put
Man.
on a pair of shades and just swagger about.
Oh man,
One of them
it's...
smoking.
God, I wish I was as cool as those cows. I think
You got a
yeah.
switchblade.
I think Weary
Yeah.
has like we have that one wagon that's like our sleep wagon that was afforded to us. I think Weary's probably has it Big D the spider horse attached to that one, and is kind of like set to the extent where like Weary could find somebody to pilot the wagon, where he would basically go sit inside of the caravan, like the wagon itself, and start working on something. Because that
Nice.
fish I mentioned at the beginning of the session has not been built yet, and I would like Weary to work on it while we travel.
Definitely. So as you're traveling along, the day stretches out, and finally the evening starts setting in, and everybody's making camp. So the wagons are pulling off to the side. You see a lot of people are starting to bring out, foodstuffs. You see fires are getting started, and then you can hear the chorus of insects. And you just feel like a lot of food's just getting dumped into these pots. Water's being added, and like they're just making massive pots of stew as they're just getting ready. And you can hear like some people are taking out instruments and relaxing. You notice that the 7 gray wagons are set up in a rather very convenient circle off to the side. And some people look at it kind of strangely, but a lot of them just like, just like I don't really know what it's going to be. And everybody's just kind of like the other 5 wagons are huddled together. And you're sort of pulled off the road a bit. So maybe like 100, 150 feet away from the road, just off to this area of grass. You see a lot of these people that you saw before, like the Walrus, the Rock Troll, and like the orcs and stuff. They're all just like getting near these fires, and food is getting ready to get handed out. What would you like to do?
First thing, once we're all like off our spider horses and we kind of park our wagon, because we didn't get a chance to explain this to TK and Alora, and we like see Alora, but she just like waves back, and we're like, okay. So
They're too cool. They're over
but,
the side, like talking to all the cool
yeah.
people. Yeah.
with like the cool kids, and
Holy cows.
but Glyph would kind of catch up to TK. This morning, when you saw that unfortunate message, I think there was more to the situation than you knew, and we did not get a chance to talk about it. And Glyph pulls out the Morgus mask, kind of like surreptitiously, and says, I saw this creature yesterday at the race. I thought I was possibly hallucinating or had wandered into some magical pollution, but last night, Kratok said that the creature actually came to our window and broke into our room. So this is a real creature, and that message may have been from it.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
How aware of Morgus is DK?
Roll me a religion. Let's see.
I just let the dice
Don't
decide.
think that that's a thing that I have. It
What's a
is
guide
not,
to a
so it's gonna be raw,
non-believer?
baby. That's a 9.
You know that there is a demigod named Morgus, but for the life of you, you don't really know a whole lot on them. You know, they seem just a little creepy. You look at the mask, it looks a little creepy. Yeah. You do recognize the
hey.
mask from the mirror when you were looking at your back.
Yeah, I was about to say, oh, hey, that thing's on my back.
On your back?
Yeah, remember that tattoo I got back there?
Oh, I did not look at it.
Oh, you want to see it?
No.
Okay.
The goblin with the Morcus tattoo.
Yeah, I got that thing on there and like a big pile of corpses and someone in like some crazy armor.
Curious. Well, I do think that the creature was possibly upset with me for wearing its mask. I do not know why, but I have a plan that will hopefully appease it, but we have to wait till nightfall.
Okay. What's the plan?
The glyph doesn't know this word, but it's shrine. Um, and we can set it in somewhere dark with candles and an offering, and that should make it happy, or at least happier.
What are you gonna offer it?
I don't know.
Okay, did it want anything or?
What do I remember seeing at the shrines in the city?
You would often see pieces of food that are left out for Morgust.
Food. Okay. I believe it likes food. Kratok did give it muffins.
It did seem to respond to well to muffins.
It did not eat us.
Pulls out like a bunch of loose muffins.
Oh.
What?
Loose
Like,
muffins.
My internet all jacked up.
so you see there are some loose muffins there, and you can smell the smell of stew as the sun is quite low in the sky. The shadows are starting to stretch, and you can hear like there's some people that are just trying to relax around you while we let Eve's internet repair. Let's go over to what's happening with Weary and Kratok.
I think Weary's just been very quietly, mostly tinkering. Like the gem is at the base, but there's like a metal frame that has been built around it, and like Weary's just very slowly and carefully like folding these metal plates and kind of like using like a little scorch of flame between the fingers to solder them into place. And just like it looks like a sculpture of like a little metal catfish that's starting to form. It's about a foot or so in length and maybe like this wide, like maybe 6 inches or so. And it's got these dull, kind of reddish, yellowish eyes that kind of match the same color as the gem that's in the center.
So, like most people who are very in tune with the arts, you have supplies all around you in like a halo effect. There's just like little things everywhere that you're pulling from, that you're putting this together. And Kratok, you see Weary is just hard at work constructing this metallic fish.
I walk over beside Weary. It's like, what is that you're building there?
Oh, hello, Kratok. Do you remember when we visited Bizarrio the War Criminal, and I bought that gem that didn't have souls in it anymore?
Who could forget?
Right, that specific event. So I'm creating a housing for the soul gem, and I'm probably going to create a small ritual to summon forth an elemental spirit and kind of binding it to the gem. And then from there, I'll have a little homunculus that I can use, and it will maybe be useful during our travels, since it can be an extension of my own spell work. It can scout things out. It can maybe shoot a little bit of like magic out if I'm making it correctly. It'll just be like a fun little companion, I think. I didn't really have pets growing up. I'm sorry, I'm talking too much.
That's quite all right. It sounds like a very interesting endeavor. You said this thing can like move around and think on its own, right?
I don't know about think on its own. I think intelligence-wise, it wouldn't be much smarter than like a dog. At least that's the usual. Well, in the practice I've done previously, the most I've been able to summon is a elemental spirit of around that strength and intelligence. So nothing that would like horribly betray us or anything. It'd be like a loyal fish.
Kratok takes the panpipes from his neck, like it's kind of like an amulet of sorts. Says, well, if you can teach it to play these, we could perform a duet, perhaps.
Oh, maybe I've never considered musical talents for it. That is
We
new.
Weary can construct a band. You can literally
The
get
first
the band back together.
Oh my god.
Five Nights at
I have
Weary's.
to use mending on all of the band. I think beyond that, beyond working on that, I think Weary also hands Kratok like a small wooden bottle.
What's this?
Oh, so I was thinking because we've been running into a lot of weird stuff lately, magical or otherwise, and I'm going to be busy building stuff. If you need to see magic, just kind of tip the bottle over and use it like eye drops, and you'll kind of get a sense of the magic around you. I was
Thank
working
you.
on it the other night, and I didn't sleep, and then I did sleep, and then the not dog came through the window. Any case, yeah, feel free to use it. It's got 3 uses, and it's sort of like a. It would be mechanically a wand of magic detection, but it's sort of like an old-timey eyedropper.
I like it.
And so that's how that would work.
Nice.
Well, I'll make sure to put it to good use. Thank you very much.
Of course. It's just because you probably seem more observant than I am. I get distracted easily.
That's easy to do.
There's so many things happening. Should we maybe tell the gray people, like ask, like, you know, pretend that we're going to check up and see if like they need any special guard stuff from us, but really it's just to check and see if they're doing anything nefarious.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. They did hire us on as their guards after all.
Right, and that we're just doing our duty. Let me just finish this fitting, and we can get everybody, and we can go do our job.
All right, I'll be ready when you are.
So Glyph and TK, you're standing there with this mask and the muffins. That sounds like a great story. And you, the sun has completely set, and you can smell like the smells of dinners now. It's quite strong in the area. And what would you two like to do?
So we've got the mask and the muffins. And Glyph, I mean, there's like trees around us, or is it all just like farmland and cow pasture?
There's like the odd, because like a lot of farmers use trees as like wind barriers and stuff. So yeah, there is patches of trees that are near you.
So the sun is set, and Glyph is like, we could do this now, or we can wait and keep an eye on the gray people if we need to. Or we could do this quickly. I'm not sure of the correct way to do this, honestly.
TK is looking around in this darkness, just being like, I don't know, it's still kind of bright out. Could you set out ahead of time, or?
As I said, I'm not sure of the correct procedure.
I don't know.
It just has to be somewhere dark, I believe. Yeah, so do this real quick. Where's the closest like patch of trees?
So yeah, there's some that aren't very far away, maybe like 15 feet, 20 feet away, just from the
Okay.
main encampment.
Okay. So we got the plated muffins and the mask. Glyph is like, would you like to accompany me?
Or I guess.
All right. We will stealthily. I mean,
Sure.
It's nighttime.
Yeah,
Glyph's
if you want
always
to
stealthy.
do stealth check, sure.
Yeah, I got an 18.
So you are moving in the night. You are moving stealthy along. And how about you, TK?
A little bit less stealthy, but it's a 12.
Okay, so you're not doing too bad. And so the two of you go over
Yeah, no,
near
it's
these trees.
not bad. It's just she doesn't care that much.
Yeah. So are you just like setting down the mask and putting the muffins with it? And
Yeah, kind of like like there's the tree break kind of like going around where it's not facing the road, it'll be like facing into the woods. And yeah, we'll prop the mask by a tree and we'll put down the plate of muffins. And I do have candles in my bag. And I will pull one out. I don't think I have a tinderbox. Oh, what?
As Cliff is pulling out the candles, PKs will be like, wait, doesn't this thing like the dark? What's the point of like having a dark spot if you're going to put light in it?
Oh, you light the candle and blow it out. So I'll
Okay.
to the best of my abilities with these limited items, I'll probably put the muffins in a circle and put the candle in the middle, and light it. But then I just kind of sit there because I cannot blow the candle out.
What are you waiting for?
Would you like to do the honors? They were your muffins.
Hey, you're really weird, you know that?
Yes.
Just checking.
So you blow out this candle. The wisp of smoke just trails upwards. The little ember is just slowly fading on the candle. You both see as this mask, propped up to a fairly thin tree, is just sitting there. You watch as a long, long arm comes around one side of the tree, but there's nothing on the other side.
Oh, shit.
You watch as the arm
What is that?
takes the mask and lifts it up. And now the mask is just looking at you.
Glyph kind of has a protective arm out to TK, just because TK was startled, and says, we bring you these offerings in this dark place.
You hear the sound of something stretching behind you. You watch as slowly another version of this mask and this white flesh behind it stretches forward behind you, and it comes up to the sides of your face.
Thank you for giving me my face. I will keep watching. I will make sure you don't touch the moon.
And slowly you hear the stretching again as the head comes back and the arm slinks back around the tree. And you two are alone once more.
I'm leaving. That was weird. I didn't like it.
Glyph's just standing there. And kind of bows and follows TK out of the woods.
I didn't like that at all. That was weird, even by my standards.
Yes, it is very unsettling.
The arm. Didn't care.
So you make it back to the camp, and there is Weary and Kratok. As Weary, you just finished putting all your stuff away, and Kratok is there with you.
You.
Work.
Yeah. Yes, that is the name that I'm using in this camp. Excellent job.
Hey, I did it. DK pets their pouch and like pulls out the bottle and like takes a quick look around, makes sure nobody's watching. like kind of does that classic drug pass.
Oh
it
yeah, like
to yeah.
So,
Don't worry.
to the surprise of everyone, Weary understands and immediately does the drug pass back.
just perfect. It's
All
like
right. So, what did you
synchronous.
want me? So you've handed me, something probably volatile and dangerous. Why?
The cult people dropped it, and it gave me a headache looking at it.
Okay, I'm gonna go to my wagon and give it a little look-see with my alchemist kit. If I start screaming, run
Burn
to
the
help
wagon.
me. Yeah, burn the wagon first and then treat my injuries afterwards. And if I turn into a tree, I guess I'm a goner, so that's not good. I'll be right back. And Weary runs over to the wagon and makes sure that closes the drapes basically and takes out the full alchemy kit, and not to the point where it's like medieval CSI, but it's definitely like I'm gonna examine what this does and
Yeah,
use all
you
of my
take
skill
off at
set.
least one pair of sunglasses, and then
Okay,
you,
yeah, and the screaming happens from the theme song,
Yeah.
but
A lot of flash cuts.
Don't get
Yeah.
fooled again.
yeah. So I guess it's up to you what kind of check it would be, but I am using my alchemist supplies for this.
I'd say you can roll for your proficiency with your alchemist kit.
Okay, so it would be the same as Arcana, so I'll just
Yeah.
do that. Cool, that's not great. That's an 8.
You don't know what exactly this is called. All you can really gather is it's a really strong painkiller. So if this was being
Oh.
used, you're guessing it would be used maybe in surgery.
Oh my goodness. And that's the most I can get, right? Obviously no side effects or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I stopper it, and what does it smell like? Actually, I'm curious.
It smells pretty vile. Like it smells like kind of like how if mushrooms have been sitting for far too long and they start getting that kind of like moldy smell. It kind of smells like that.
Okay. I'm going to lightly do some light magical tinkering on it and make the bottle smell like daisies instead.
Oh, nice.
And then I come back and the bottle smells a little nicer, and I hand it to TK with the drug pass. Sorry, I've been handed volatile things before. That's just how we do it. Some notes. I might have to look at it later when we have more time, but it is a very strong sedative. To the point where it would really only be used within major surgical, magical procedures.
Oh, it's not like some weird magic thing. Why did it give me a headache?
I mean, I can't answer why it did that. I'd still have to run more tests to figure out if it has any associated side effects, but since it is a painkiller, I assume it might cause all sorts of horrible things to happen if it's misused.
Okay. Hold on to this for now. I guess if we ever need it.
Yeah,
Right here.
Of course, and I made it smell like daisies, so that it doesn't have to smell like rotting mushrooms anymore. Oh yeah, it smells like rotting mushrooms. I don't know if that smell maybe had something to do with you getting dizzy?
No, I mean, I actually kind of like the smell, but alright.
Oh, okay. I suppose then once we have some more free time, I'll give it a more in-depth look. Hopefully we won't need it, because I am not well trained in surgical procedure.
So what would you all like to do now? The sun is setting. Somebody came by and they saw that you weren't coming over to where everyone else was, and they just kind of handed you each a bowl of stew, and some rather hard bread. And then so you see a lot of people are just relaxing. You see that there are actually no gray-robed individuals around here at all.
Glyph just accepts the soup and the bread, and then the first chance they get, they're gonna feed it to the spider horses. Or just put it near them so they'll eat it.
Yeah, you have to set it down so that the webbing doesn't go on your hands, but they eat the bowl, they eat the spoon.
Oh. Good boy, Muffin.
So-
Oh, I was just going to say, we all notice that there's no gray-robed folks kind of mingling.
Yeah.
Okay. Since we were hired to guard the caravan and the gray-robed travelers, perhaps we should go check on them.
Yes, that sounds like a good idea. I was telling Krotok the same thing.
Kay is just wolfing down her stew and already walking over there.
It was actually pretty good, the food.
Oh, nice.
Are there any
Use
like
more mushrooms?
any like rice or noodles or carb heavy things in the stew?
No, it's a lot of like just vegetables that are gonna last a bit. So they have like potatoes and stuff like there. There's like some dried veggies that are put in. They put like some chunks of mystery meat. You're not sure.
So Kratok eats the stew, but he stays far away from that bread.
I've been trying to quit for a while, man. I get it.
Involuntary puffing.
Oh no.
So
I love it when Kratok does bird things.
Well, we got horse person and just bird person.
Yeah.
Bird guy.
So you're walking by the caravans that are set up in this circle, and you see there's like kind of you see there's kind of like an opening to where all these caravans are set up in a circle. You could feasibly go underneath the wagons, or you could like climb over them or around, but there's kind of an opening. You see some cultists are kind of leaning back. You see that there's firelight coming from underneath the wagons, but you don't hear any cultists.
Do we see Teresa anywhere?
No.
Would that be an Arcana check to see what's going on? Why we can't hear them?
I'll let you do an Arcana check if you want. Sure.
I don't have anything in that. Yeah, that's a 4.
You don't know. You no idea. Maybe they're just really quiet around this time of night.
Kratok whips out those eye drops and says, "Let's see what I can see." And he drops those in his eyes. It's the magic you can see.
So you drop these into your eyes, and of course, like you have to blink them a little bit. It feels a little weird, and you first start seeing just these beautiful, glittering lines going over the land of the Arcanium. You look out to the fields and watch it. It's almost like a sea of magic. It's just rippling out there. This land is so potent with magical energy. It is absolutely mystifying to see. And as your eyes slowly turn towards the circle of wagons, you can see a harsh glow, an almost black, that is around this. And it seems to be going completely around the wagons, under the wagons, over top, almost forming like a dome.
So the trail kind of like leads there?
No, basically think of it like this land is incredibly potent in magic. So there's just you can just feel and now see magical energy everywhere. But you do see that there's the one thing that really stands out is that there's this almost like black dome of energy that is around these wagons. You can still see through it, but it's just like now that you can see the magic, you can see this like translucent dome.
So Kratok, when he sees this dome, since everything else around it's so beautiful, he kind of does like the little skipping / prancing through the flower fields kind of thing, where you kind of do like the jump and the pirouette sort of thing going on. He does that towards the black dome. It's this way, everyone.
It worked. That's good to see.
Kratok is not a stealthy Plumerian.
No.
Yeah.
No. Can
That's
I
great.
grab him before he gets too far away?
Yeah, I
Sure.
mean,
You can try.
Kritark's just skipping along, right? So, like, if you
Yeah.
run up to Kritark, you could feasibly catch up.
Yeah, I'm fast. I catch up and I kind of like, and and I'm like, composure.
Kritark,
I understand that just the colors are so beautiful around here.
Kritark's pupils are
You don't know
big.
what I see.
I do fear that I have flowers for Algernon, Kratak's eyes, and I feel very bad about it.
He is crying.
Oh no, that's maybe it was too much. I'm so sorry.
This is beautiful.
It's 10 minutes.
It's gonna last for 10 minutes.
It's going to last 10 minutes. The nice thing is that you can, based on if you've trained to read magic auras, you can kind of tell what kind of magic radiates which colors. So maybe that's something that'll help us.
Well, there's a black dome over there. Does anyone know what that means?
That's probably not good.
I assume we're not doing this like right up on those wagons.
You're like 15 feet away because Kritark went right towards them, right? So Kritark did not care about the situation. So you're about 15 feet away.
Cliff is like gently steering us back, say, towards the other circle of wagons, the one that's all lit up and everyone's having stew.
Where's the edge of this dome at?
It like goes through about like the middle part of the wagon.
Yeah, Kritark kind of says, "Oh!" He starts to whisper, "It's like the middle part of that wagon over there."
All right.
That's
Be right
where it
back.
stops?
No, that's like where the dome is.
Well, there goes TK. Maybe she'll find something out.
Yeah, TK is gonna like sneak up and try to crawl underneath of one of the wagons.
Yes. So you crawl up. Give me that stealth roll.
Yes, I will do that. Yeah, my stealth is not bad. I got a +5 to it.
Hey, there you go.
That's a 19 total.
So
Oh, wow.
you feel very used to this kind of thing, and you're not entirely sure why. But you are crawling on your forearms, moving forward, and you don't see the dome. And as you're going under, it just looks like a campfire, and you can't really see anyone there. But as you pass a part of this, as you pass the central part of the wagon, suddenly it is very loud. You have people are just chanting. Like they are chanting loud. There is an immense heat that is coming from here. You see all sorts of people are standing around, and you can see like starting to slowly float in the air. It's just like coming out of your vision. You watch as Teresa is floating around, like starting to go maybe around head level.
TK is gonna like back her head out of the dome real quick.
Suddenly it's quiet. Yeah.
And then just come back up just a little bit and like try to wave people over.
Okay.
Look back in.
Sort of slink forward.
Yeah, we'll follow, but slowly and as stealthy as possible.
Yeah, I wanna go with them, but not to the exact same wagon. I wanna kind of flank.
Okay.
So we can get some different perspectives, and that is a 22. Glyph is gone.
Yeah.
14 for my stealth roll.
Good talk.
I got a 9.
Still crying.
Oh,
It's too much.
I'm so sorry. This is not how I wanted this to go down.
So you are sneaking under these wagons, and I'm gonna hold up this Lithid because the scene's gonna get gross. So I'm holding this up. It's gonna get gross. I'm gonna put it down. Then it's fine again. So I have it down right now. You are looking at this group of cultists. They're chanting. It's loud. It's almost deafening. You see maybe 25 cultists here. They're lifting up Teresa, and then they step away, and Teresa's still floating. Her eyes are wide as she's looking back and forth at everyone. You see the woman that you saw before with the grayish skin that's tight, no hair, these yellowed eyes, as she's there leading the chant. But what throws you off is that there's this person who stands up. They were sitting off to the side in this old rickety chair. And this person gets up, and they're at least 8 feet tall. They stride over. These large robes are over them. You can't make out really anything about them. You do see dangling off on the side is this mask, this black mask. Every so often it catches the light and shines. You see as this 7-foot tall being takes the mask and slowly brings it up to their face and puts it on. You watch as this being goes, and you hear cracks, snaps, and you see their body starts twisting and morphing. You can see large tentacles starting to rip through their robes. They start growing and growing and growing. They're at least 15 feet tall now. Their head has turned into a large central tentacle. As it's whipping back and forth, there's a large mouth on it, screaming out. You see that there are multiple arms coming off of this being. Eyes are forming in the palms of its hands. These large legs are starting to stomp around. Half of you can feel this reverberation, but the other half of you that's outside of the dome can feel nothing. You all watch in terror as this being goes up to Teresa, this massive creature that somebody should see. It's towering over these wagons, but no one's making a single peep about it. These people are still chanting. It reaches down and touches Teresa, and you watch as Teresa screams in pain. Her arms lengthen, her legs lengthen, her torso lengthens, her head lengthens, and this thin version, this twisted thin version of what was once Teresa now stands there, howling. And they kind of twist and crackle. And I'll put this down. So now there's a large 15-foot tentacle monster that was once the 7-foot tall person. When they put on the black mask, they became this being. And now Teresa, after being touched by it, has turned into this weird thinned version. She's maybe 6.5, 7 feet tall. Her head is maybe half the width of what her head used to be. And she's just moving back and forth. She reaches over and grabs onto one of the cultists, and you watch as everything out of them is drained. And you watch as this thin creature starts bulking up, growing muscular, and carapace grows on it, and this husk of a person falls to the ground. And then it turns to Gratok. You can hear this hissing Gratok. The magical energies around here are whipping about like a vortex. It is hard to concentrate because of these eye drops, but then you see this being staring at you.
If this look. The bird knows. The bird knows. Catch me the Pumerian.
And I need initiative.
Talk. Oh God.
I wanted to. We just roll. Oh, okay. I'll take that.
I got a 9.
I got a 19.
The DC was 10.
I got a 23.
Oh, one off.
Too many fruity pebbles in my visions.
Okay, so Eve, what did you get?
A 13.
Okay, so TK 13 and Weary.
I got a 19.
All right, so we start off with Glyph. Glyph, you see all these people just looking towards Gratok.
Yes. As soon as I see that and I hear this thing that was Teresa say, the bird knows, I'm going to I can probably stand, right?
You're under a wagon right now, so you can crawl out of it.
So okay, I'm gonna scramble out.
Are you going towards the cultists or away?
Towards, because I'm going to pull out 2 daggers and throw them both at Teresa.
Oh, throw 'em.
Yep. Okay. All right. Ooh. Okay. 22 on the first one.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Okay. And these are light weapons. Oh goodness. Okay. And a 19 on the second one.
Yeah, that's a hit. Roll that damage.
Okay. Would that count as a surprise round? Because they don't know I'm here.
They don't know you're there. You successfully stealth, so they
Okay.
they do get the sneak attack damage.
Excellent. Okay. Nice. Okay, that's 9 on the first one. And sneak attack's just extra d6 right now. Let me double check that. Yeah, bonus d6. That's 3. So 9 to 12 on the first one. Second one is just 5. Would the second one get sneak attack as well, or just the first one?
Anytime you can use sneak attack once per turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you get sneak attack you can add your sneak attack anytime you have advantage.
Okay, so she probably wasn't expecting that first knife.
Yeah.
And I want to. Well, okay. I can't. That second attack was my bonus action, but I want to make the loudest, highest pitched robot noise I can make. They're gonna come after me.
You howl. All the cultists turn. These knives sail through the air, each stabbing into this very thin person. As they started to bulk up, and just in time you stab them into their back. And they twist around. The head completely twists, this long, thin, willowy head, and it shrieks at you. And you see all these cultists are quickly drawing weapons. They're looking surprised. And this large 15-foot creature just slowly turns one hand towards you, this eye sticking out of its palm. And then the eye shifts up a little bit, and then this mouth forms underneath the eye. And you hear,
Well. It seems we have a few intruders.
and the creature launches itself towards Glyph. Not the 15-foot one, the thin one.
That's
Glyph,
fine.
what's your AC?
Ooh, 16.
Okay. You get, this creature moves, and it's this weird walk, like it's trying to get used to its new body. It's ambling over people. People are getting knocked to the side. It reaches this one 3-fingered hand down, and they look like they're suction cups at the end, and it grabs onto you. And you can feel just like the energy that normally pulses through your system is being absorbed by it. You take 3 temporary strength damage, and you take 4 necrotic damage. As you feel just like this energy being ripped out of you, and you watch as your daggers are pushed out of its back, and they clatter to the ground, and the creature's getting a little larger.
Hmm.
Ew.
And the cultists are they're circling around. A couple of them going towards Kritok. A few of them are like they want to go towards Glyph, but they're trying to keep away from this tall, willowy creature. And you then go from Glyph to Weary.
So I have there's Teresa monster, which is 15 feet tall, carapace goo.
Well,
and
no,
then there's
Teresa
masked
monster is probably
monster.
about 7 feet tall. The other one, you don't
Okay.
know who they are. They're some robed individual. They're about the 15-foot tall
Okay.
one after they put a black mask on.
Okay, so we got Batman's Black Mask, TM, and we have Teresa monster, and we have the cultists.
Yeah.
You said that the creature towers over the wagons, right?
Yes.
Okay, how big would the space between all of their wagons be, just like across?
I'd say it's probably about like at least 30 feet or so.
Okay. Weary takes out a pressurized canister from their back, like their many pouches, and this one just says FF on it, and it's got a bunch of like you can tell that it's like beaten and dented, and it's covered in a bunch of like different like bright like almost neon looking colors. And Weary shakes it and like tosses it so that it basically bursts and covers as much of the space between the wagons as possible as Weary casts Fairy Fire.
Ooh. So this fire illuminates.
So it's almost like glowing phosphorescent powder, and it's probably going to come out like a blue and gold color, and it's a dexterity saving throw for basically all of the cultists. But moreover, if they fail and they're invisible, they are now visible. So other people in the camp outside hopefully will be able to see the monster.
Okay, I'm gonna give it disadvantage because it's so large. Alrighty, so you hurl this, and this phosphorescent powder, it goes over all these people, and you see like they're like trying to pat it off. A few of them are coughing. It goes on this thin, willowy creature as it's just kind of staring down. You see as like your canister, it's spraying out in every direction, and some of it coats onto this creature, especially like the upper tentacle part that's lifting above. And you can now hear a chorus of shrieks and startled spider horses from the outside as people are seeing this creature now. And the creature looks over at you, turning its hand with the eye and the mouth towards you, Weary.
Now you ruin our pleasant trip. How many more rats are beneath the wagons?
I'm made of infinite rats, and I think Weary just like turns and like runs out of like, because Weary probably crawled out to like throw the canister, but just like scrambles back on the other side of the wagons where probably like people can like see the glowing monster now, and just starts yelling, "The gray people have a monster, and it's gonna eat people, and you, like, I don't know, bring weapons, you're adventurers, right?"
You see most of the wagon people are they're already getting like spider horses hitched up. They're screaming. You hear the little "oh no, oh no" as the Walrus is running away, and you see there are some adventurers that you see like the three halflings are taking out these hand crossbows and spears as they're rushing forward, wide-eyed, like looking at this thing. And you see there is this one orc woman. She takes out what appears to be this like a flintlock and just tries to fire at this creature. And you see like it hits the side, and you hear this like as like its head kind of twists and tilts, and then it goes like back to being upright. And she's just staring at this thing, horrified, backing away. And we go from Weary to TK. So TK, you see that cultists are starting to move towards Kritok. You see that this willowy creature is attacking Glyph, and this other creature, it looks like it just got shot in the side of the head, but it didn't seem to react much.
And as long as I'm concentrating on the canister spraying like colored powder everywhere, anything that's coated in it is advantage on getting attacked.
Oh.
So that's why I scooted to the other side, so it would be harder for them to hit me.
Real quick, is the mask still visible on that thing?
No, actually, you do not see a mask.
Damn. All right. Ooh. TK looks at Kartok and just this, "Run, you fucking idiot!" And she's going to climb out from under the thing. The Glyph seems like they're in the most immediate danger, right? With this thing. Yeah. So TK is just going to thrust her spear forward and launch a telekinetic blast into its back. Hopefully snap it in half.
All right, roll it.
That'll be 23.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Oh, baby. And a 9.
It's 9 damage.
Mm-hmm.
So you blast this shockwave, and it goes right over your shoulder, Glyph, as you're kind of falling back, feeling a little weaker. As this blast hits into this creature, you hear an audible snap, and you watch as like a little bone pops out. And you can hear once again, like you see like the creature backs up, and it knocks into these little potions as they fall down into the ground. And TK 37, make me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm not so good at those. I'm rolling fucking hot. It's a 19.
So you see another flash, and you're remembering the surgery for your arm. You're seeing like there's the stump for your arm, and you just watch as another needle is coming down towards your arm. They're just like going to give you the painkiller, and you can cheer.
No, the patient's fighting me again. Just knock it out.
As you are struggling, and then you snap back to it, but this time you're not dizzy. You don't feel out of it, but you see that painkiller, and you see like it's just spilled down into the ground, and the creature's starting to stomp on it.
Oh, great. Yeah, I think that's it for my turn.
Okay, and we go to Kritok.
All right, so with his bonus action, Kritok is going to attempt to grant Bardic Inspiration, targeting Glyph. And he says, "Upon us is an amorphous blob. Let's kill this thing and finish the job." And then, so when you... Oh, you read this just to be sure. So, you get an inspiration die. So on an ability check, attack roll, or saving throw, you can roll 1d6 and add that to the score. And then for his primary action, Kritok casts Hideous Laughter at the tentacle monster.
Which one? The very, very large one, or the willowy thin person?
The very, very large one.
Okay.
Says, "You are a large hulking mass. Can't you see that you're just an ass?"
Oh my god! I rolled a 1. You see the creature. It turns towards you, Kritok. And it just starts stomping around, and like you see like the tentacles from it are like flailing. A couple cultists get hit and they go flying as this large hulking 15-foot creature is just laughing their ass off. And they're smashing into the wagons. Now the cultists are in disarray. This thin creature is now like getting bumped into by cultists as this thing is just laughing and laughing and laughing. So, Kritok, you get the hell out of there. You are like flapping along as you're quickly running, and you just like pass by a lot of these startled cultists as now they're trying not to get stomped on by their leader, and this willowy creature is like just stomping on more of these potions, trying to get out of the way. And you make it outside of the wagon as the wagon circle, as you see a lot of people are quickly just trying to pack up, and there are like some adventurers that are pulling out their weapons and looking terrified. And this creature is like knocking into wagons. The dome is completely gone. Now you just see this beast. You can hear the screaming, and you are now like kind of near where Weary is. And we go from Kritok back to Glyph.
Okay. So she like grabbed me and I felt weakened. But then she dropped me and now she's stomping around. How far away from me is she?
Still about like 5 feet.
Okay. So my knives are on the ground. You said they fell out of her, correct?
That's right.
Okay, I want to pick them up. I don't know if that's part of my move action or how you want to do that.
You can just use like 5 feet and just like pick them up.
Okay. I'm gonna use 5 feet of my move. I scoop up my knives. And she's glowing with fairy fire, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's this
Great. That
phosphorescent
means I
dust
have
that's all
advantage.
over.
Excellent. I'm going to throw the knives at her again, or I could probably just stab her if she's within 5 feet. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get her. Okay. First attack. 13, 19 on the first one. And I can't do math. What's 12 plus 6? 18?
18.
18 on the second one.
So both hit.
I'm also rolling hot. All right.
I am not.
The first. Shame. 7 plus sneak attack. It's 12 on the first one, and 5 on the second one.
So you bring these daggers in, stabbing into the Teresa monster, the thin creature, and you watch as you just stab them both in and then pull them out to either side. This creature howling, and just it falls down to the ground, smashing onto more of these bottles. And it's starting to move very slowly, you're noticing, as it's like laying there in these shattered bottles. And you see just a lot of these cultists are moving out of the way. You see a few of them get stomped on by this large leviathan, this massive creature. It's just laughing and having the time of its life, apparently. So you still have your move action. Would you like to do anything?
Because I can still throw my weapons. I want to move away from her. I kind of, because I'm not sure what she's gonna do. So yeah, I just move back to like the wagons.
So you're moving back. You're getting towards where most of the other people are, and we go from them to the creatures. This creature's trying to get off the ground. See if it can pass this Constitution saving throw. And it seems just really out of it. This creature's trying to get up, and it just like keeps falling down to the ground. It's moving very sluggish, almost like it's drunk. And this Leviathan beast, Jesus Christ, does not stop laughing. It just keeps going and going.
I want to keep the bird.
And
I will hug him and love him and name him George.
Oh, no.
And you see the creature actually knocks into one of the wagons and knocks it over on its side, just like spilling out contents. You can hear the jingling of metal, other strange assortments are spilling out from this thing. You can hear the hisses of spider horses, and the sounds of wagons just starting to leave. And a lot of these cultists, a few are just running up towards where you're at, Glyph, because you and TK haven't taken off yet. Okay, so one cultist comes in for a swing on you, Glyph, and you take 5 points of damage. This club just comes down and cracks down on you. And TK, while you're thrusting your spear forward, you take 8 points of damage as this club just like cracks you upside the head. You hear all these cultists saying, "How dare you do this? How dare you ruin our ceremony? How dare you ruin Ascension?"
Ow.
And it goes to Weary. So Weary, you're outside there. You see people are like, they're getting these wagons ready fast. Already like 1 or 2 of them are taking off.
Cool. Weir is probably still a little embarrassed that the one-liner that they were able to produce was "I'm made of infinite rats," and so they just like, man, I can't leave on that. That's just, oh god, I'm so bad at this. Weir runs over and like obviously sees that Glyph and TK are still like in the thick of it. And noticing that everybody is still in that area, right? Like that center of wagons fight zone. Weary goes, all right, well, this time it's not at halflings at least, and takes a vial of oil and chucks it into the center as well, casting the grease spell, which also fits like a 10 feet radius. So I'm centering it near the Teresa and the Leviathan monster. So I know the Leviathan monster's already on the ground, so this will just make it harder for it to get up from laughing.
Are you
And the
aiming
Teresa
towards
monster's already
like?
dropped.
Are you aiming towards like the campfires they have set up?
Oh god, it's grease.
Yeah.
You're the one
Is
that
the
I
Leviathan?
want.
I mean, are there cultists and Leviathans near there?
I'd say more like the thin person and cultists are near it, whereas the Leviathan
Okay.
is like on a wagon.
All right. So Weary remembers fire safety class at the Guardian stewardship thing that they did, and instead throws it to where all the cultists are trying to like bully and team up on like Glyph and TK and stuff. Like, so hopefully this like trips up all of the cultists and lets TK and Glyph just like beat the crap out of them. And as I do so, I'm like, we might need to keep like one of them alive so we can ask them a bunch of questions about their religion, but not in like a fun way, but in like a way of like, what are you doing? This is like messed up. Have you seen the monsters?
So just a reminder,
Yeah.
so maybe 3 or 4 of the cultists have been stomped on. There were around 30.
Oh, God.
There is a large creature in the thin person, but you hurl this grease and it just starts turning and like, and these cultists they're falling and slipping and they can't get up.
Oh my God.
And they're falling on glass shards and they're crying out and they're angry, and you just hear like this booming laughter just like shaking you to the core as more of these wagons are rocking, and you can start hearing now like hissing coming from the wagons, and you just like see these cultists are trying to move forward. Now they're trying to avoid the grease, and then they see like the fire that's not far away from the grease, and all of them are like, well, as they're starting to try to figure this out. And we go from Weary to TK.
Right. How many people are in the grease compared to how many people are surrounding me?
I'd say like 2 of the people near you are in the grease, and there's some people like behind them, because the grease is kind of like it almost created like a bit of a barrier, whereas now the people in the grease are slipping. So I'd say there's at least 5 cultists in total who are in the grease, and the other cultists are trying to maneuver around it.
All right. Yeah. BK is going to use thrust and just use it to sweep the fire into the grease.
Ooh. Yeah. Roll that. Sure.
Yeah, there will be a 20 total.
So you whip your spear up, almost like you're pulling, and you all watch as like there's a almost like a glimmer of force coming forward, and it kicks the fire towards where the grease is. Some of the embers all carry over, like a little gout of flame carries over. It puts the fire out that was on the campfire, but then the campfire springs to life on the grease. And so now there are cultists that are in this grease. The fire is lit. They are screaming, and there's other cultists like trying to get away from this, batting and swinging. So now there is basically a small lake of flames that is between you and Glyph and everything there.
Glyph, move it now!
I take it you're hauling ass towards Kritok and Weary.
TK is hanging out until Glyph gets out.
Aw.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So we go to Kritok. Kritok, you are over by Weary. You can now see like fire illuminating from the inside and hear more screaming as these wagons are starting to get hit. You hear they're starting to be hissing now coming from the wagons.
I can't remember exactly. How far away are we from like the Teresa monster and the Leviathan right now? Roughly.
So you, because you ran out of the area, you're probably I'd say like 20, 25 feet away from the Teresa monster. The Leviathan, you're probably a good like 40, 45 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to target the Teresa monster with charm person.
Oh my god. So
Teresa,
they will.
don't you remember the great times we had? You hired us.
So there's like a montage, like a quick flash, like a Sarah McLachlan song. It's going, talking about angel arms, and it just Teresa's looking back on the good times. He's saying, "We heard you're looking for adventures, and we'll take the job." And just flashing through all these great memories, and then the Teresa monster like leans back and like stabs like glass into their arm, and it just like shakes their head and howls out this weird twisted howl as it's trying to get up now. So it did not seem to work.
Oh,
You were
at least
close
I tried.
because they had advantage, so I rolled a 2 and then I rolled a 16.
I guess Kurtagas is going to continue to scramble away from the madness.
So your spider horses are tied up nearby, or I mean there is just the road. It's up to you.
I'd probably go for the horses if it doesn't seem like we're in extreme imminent danger.
That's fair. So you are heading towards the horses, and then it goes to Glyph. Glyph, there is the fire that is crackling in front of you. There's something you really don't like. There's so much blood around you. There's fire. There's screaming. The average person would not like this in general, but something is a little extra added on. You really don't like this.
No. I don't like this at all. I also have like a dent in my chest from where that person hit me, and it probably sounded like hitting a gong.
Yeah.
I do look over, and Teresa, you said she's trying to get up?
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, I am sorry, Teresa. And I'm gonna throw one last knife at her, and then I'm gonna book it out of there.
Okay.
She's still covered in fairy fire?
Yes.
Great. 17 plus 6 is a number. Like a 22, 23.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. 4 max, which is 10 plus 3 for 13 damage.
So you say sorry as you launch this dagger. It goes sailing, handle over blade, and just as this creature looks up and shrieks, you hear this voice booming out towards you.
You ruined the Ascension.
And this dagger just goes right through its head as it just falls down lifeless into this pile. The people are screaming and shrieking as you watch the spell seems to have snapped off of this Leviathan-like creature. It's looking around, angry. It sees Teresa's defeated form, and you start running. And you get out of there. TK, because you said you're kind of like holding off, I'll say that you can run, unless you want to wait around.
Let's see. Yeah, I probably want to try to duck out.
Okay.
I'm kind of worried about all the opportunity attacks because
Well, they're
I
all
do
on fire
have
at the
a
moment.
means okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah,
they're-
then I'm bouncing.
So the two of you are fleeing as this creature is just howling out. You hear,
Bring me the adventurers' heads. Release the beasts. We were saving them, but I think this is a great time for a test run.
The beast.
so you're the two of you are just like running. You see Kratok is over near the horses. Weary, you look, you see like Glyph and TK37 are just hauling ass out of there. What would you like to do?
Is there like a cultist that's like all dizzy and weird that's like managed to make it out of the make it out of the circle of wagons?
High or low?
Hi.
Yes. Yes, you see
Okay.
there's one. They're coughing from the smoke. You see they put out some of their robe. They're not too far away from you.
Okay, I think Weir's gonna run up and just like very quickly. Oh, this will be good. Weir is gonna take like one of like this little like probably like collar choker thing that they have around their neck, and very quickly enchant it with some magical tinkering, so that when Weary comes up, and I don't have a voice changer like you do, but
Yeah.
I'm like copying the Leviathan voice,
Yeah.
saying like, "You must come with me." The Dark Lord like demands it or whatever. Like just Weary's like trying to make it seem that like, oh, you were given like a cool special mission to spy on us.
So roll me a deception with advantage because you're using the voice.
Cool.
Oh my god. It's fine.
Okay, with advantage. Let's try that again. 14.
So you cast this, and the person, they look behind them. They think that they hear this voice and they see you, and they just like kind of like try to look like they're sneaking off, as if like they're gonna try to tail you.
Oh, like clearly like, oh no, someone's following me.
Yeah.
So yeah, Weary tries their best to not like obviously notice that they're following, but will take the time and like, you know, not look at the wagon so that the person can sneak on and like undo the big D and like tie up the spider horse and stuff.
So you all quickly get your spider horses ready, and you haul out of there. The wagon is just hitting the rocks as these spider horses are roaring. You look back, and the flames have picked up. Some of the wagons have lit on fire. You hear hissing into the night. There's something flapping out into the darkness as you roll your way towards Transmutia. And that's where we're gonna end it. Ah, wow, that went very different. Sorry this went a little longer. But combat is a tricky business. Did you all have fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
Sorry,
killed my...
I've played nothing but tanks for like 4 years, and I kind of forgot for a second.
Yeah, that's why TK had to come out. It's just like, oh great, the rogue's gonna get killed.
I was like, oh yeah.
That's my job.
I definitely enjoyed all of the enemies being in a convenient concentric circle.
Yes.
For all of my deck save spells.
That was great.
I definitely thought you would all just watch. And then Krataki rolled in with that good 9 for a stealth, and you're real high, so you're just like, whoa!
So, somehow I knew that Kartok was gonna do it. I was waving towards like Glyph.
I as a fun thing, I think it'd be fun if chat got to name the cultist NPC
Yes.
that I
Sure, yeah.
definitely
Yes.
is totally spying on us and not somebody that I low-key just took prisoner.
All right, why don't everyone toss some names in the chat if you think of a really a rando cultist name, and I'll pick one out of the bin. So while you're all adding names to the chat of a fun cultist, let's go around the circle.
Anonymous.
So I have been your DM, Lucas. Thank you for joining us for this very lovely, eventful, and fun session where I'm very happy every time I think, oh, this will probably be how it goes. It never does, and it works out way better. So I'm happy about that. My recommendation for this week is the Four Orbs podcast. So if you're looking for another very high fantasy, less horror, monsters, and scary weird things, hop on over to Forbes because they have an absolutely stunning podcast, amazing sound design. Their DM, Dave Cole, actually does a lot of the songs that they have. They also did like our theme song, Arise. And I voiced the villain on that one, baby, Vorin. Sometimes Dave lets me make really messed up monsters, so it's great. But yeah, you can find me at Ballad of the Seven Dice on Twitter. I'm usually manning that, and of course we have another podcast, Ballad of the Chosen Few. So just search a Battle of the Seven Dice and you will find us on any of those lovely podcatchers, as they call them. So I'll hand it on over to Ian.
Hi, everyone. It was a delight to be able to do Artificer stuff today. I've never actually played a full Artificer before, so this is really cool. But my Twitter is Ian_Caliente. I mostly tweet about the show and retweet fan art. That's all I got for you in terms of content. But in terms of recommendation, I do recommend the well, like the reason I ended up being a part of the show is because I saw like the little retweet from the Critical Bits podcast. So I do recommend the Critical Bits podcast. It is a queer superhero body horror podcast using the mask system. So it's a hoot. I have laughed a lot. I'm not caught up, so don't at me about like anything that's going on currently. I'm nowhere near caught up. But it's a good time and I've been listening to it a lot. So definitely give it a listen.
Oh my god, there's some great names. Jess.
Thank y'all for watching. I'm Jess. I do not have a Twitter. I do have an art Instagram. It's art_fantastical. And I want to give a shout out to Meg, who couldn't be here for this session. We'll hopefully be back on track next week. But their Twitter is at Narnia's Pants, and they are raising funds through their coffee to they're a musical educator, and they're raising money to get supplies and musical instruments for the kids. So if you could throw some money their way to their coffee, or they also have an Amazon wish list. So if you could check that out, we'd all really appreciate it. I know Meg would, and it would just be a cool thing to do. Help some kids get some musical education. Yeah. So yeah, thanks. And that's at Narnia's Pants on Twitter.
Awesome. Eve.
You can find me at Copper Harpy. That's copper is in the metal, harpy is in the bird monster. This Friday at 7 p.m. CST, I will probably be streaming the new alpha for Prehistoric Kingdom. So if you like dinosaur zoos, check that out. And if I can't get that up and running, then it will probably be some Earth Defense Force. Beyond that, go listen to Peculiar Objects. It's just a fun kids on bikes game. Good times.
Awesome.
That's about all I got.
And we have Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason_42 here and on Twitter. Also playing Draxir in the Battle of the Chosen Few, the other campaign Lucas mentioned earlier. It's pretty great. Probably equivalently parts goofy and horror as this stream has been so far. So probably want to check that out if you like this. And thanks for coming out, everyone, and checking out the Twitch stream. Have a good one.
So I have included a link to our Discord if you care to join it. We've been posting art. We've had some of the emojis that we're supposed to have on here, but and been chatting it up on there about Rise. But I am going to take a look at these cultist names. So we have Beatrice. We have Scrump. We have the classic Culty McCultface. We have Fran. I like that. Someone's named friend Fran. Coniferous Never Tree. That sounds super suspicious. I feel like they might have been a tree. Rowan or Ash. And maybe Lark. Fraser or Douglas. Totally normal non-tree names. Seems like there's a bit of a tree theme here. All right. Okay. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna roll a dice and we're gonna see what happens. Here we go. Decide my fate for me. Small die. We got number 2. Scrump. Oh my god. Jesus. I'll never have a serious NPC in this game.
Perfect.
We have Scrump. I do like the last name of Nevertree. So they are Scrump Nevertree. They've never treed, not even once.
Not
okay,
even once.
don't tree, kids. Always say no.
Oh man, we're writing all of our merch so early.
Yeah. But thank you
can't
very
drive
much.
if you're pine.
Thank you very much, everyone, for joining along. And I can't wait for us to bring in Chip and enjoy some great times of Scrump Nevertree.